almost the whole of 2015, puro mobile lang gamit ko.
Kasi, ang dami ko kayong picture na mga ganyan. Kasi pag meron akong nakita sa dinaanan ko, nakita. O, diba?
Be, pasayin sa ano.
Pwede pala yung picture ko kay Da kasi may natutulog din. May picture kay Da, may paalam ko eh.
May hawak ka pala. May individual mic pag Q&A, no?
Oo, kuya, ikot na. Dalawa.
Yung ganyan, no?
Is your screen updated? What do you see on your screen, please, on the big monitor?
Street photo.
I am a full-time lecturer and resources speaker on photography. This in the Shelter Fund Collective that is engaged in exhibit and sells prints some of my works and also my books. I have a self-published photozine and photo book. Alice by Facade is one, which Lee has shown you an example earlier. I've also shown you the Wandering at Home zine. And I'm formerly a Fujifilm brand influencer. Lee, don't mistake the word formerly. Wala kasi formal na kontrata ngayon. Okay. Yes. And my co-lecturer for photography enthusiast, we started shooting in 2016, and he has never stopped since. He first joined a cluster that I led for a Fujifilm Global Photo Walk before. He was nominated when we are explaining the nuances of the pictures that we've taken. That is basically how we. Now, does the picture, does the scene simply amuse or fascinate me? So these are some of the sample questions that come to mind when I go out and choose what to shoot. Now, to have a more formal or a simple definition of street photography, this is the simplest definition and description of street photography that I adhere to. Because if you go around Googling, my source is inpublic.com, the original inpublic.com. When we say candid, candid means it is not staged. You have not manipulated the scene element. You're able to connect them. First perspective, you are trying to create an illusion other than reality that is being shown. You do this by, the most common way is to have one of the subjects close to you or to the camera and the other one far from it. But again, it doesn't have to always be the case. You can simply adjust your angles or tilt your camera to create a first perspective image. Another is lights and shadows, which is utilizing bright lights and shadows, and reflections using reflective elements. Okay, but again, I'd like to remind you that when shooting lights and shadows and reflections, don't shoot just for the sake of lights and shadows and reflections. Find the connection, a similarity or contrast between your subjects. I'm saying find the juxtaposition between them. Include a clinching element that makes or completes your image. Okay? Don't just shoot may lights and shadows, shoot. Reflection, shoot. Shoot a candid scene that is difficult.
Let me just. I have a soft spot for you guys because I have a cousin who lives there too. Wait.
Parang
dito kay Lian.
As Sir Artie tackled earlier, it's until I finally got the perfect subject, which is that guy. So that's another tip that I can give you guys here. Whenever you find spots for banana here and the traffic aid post here, in this photo you can also match down because that's what I'm looking for. So I noted here that you can also try here. This structure here is full of circles. Here, I kind of do things here. Just being riding a bike because it was a hot day, a really hot day, and he was covering his head with his jacket.
And don't forget to look up as well. Okay, to adapt to changing elements.
Further, let's start with the first one. SP selfies. SP is street photography. In the Philippines, we call it SP.
Political personality, there is a interesting character or personality in the scene. So he would probably take this photo and report back to his photo editor about this particular political personality. Whereas, for me as a street photographer, I'm not concerned about that mayor. Okay, I'm not concerned about it. Sometimes I'm more concerned of what's happening behind the scenes of the event. And this includes the preparation of the actors or the participants of that particular event. So I take snaps of their preparation. Okay? Another example. When at a rally, for example, the photojournalist would probably be more interested in taking shots, including the main personalities that actually participate in the rally. Okay? So, he has to report back to his editor that these guys, this group, si Mang ganito, Mang Ate, si Kawan, Ka Pedro, are leading this rally and this is what they are protesting. These are some of their placards and they were shouting. Does not have that obligation. He has no obligation to report. Hence, he has more room for creativity. Just like in that last example. The photojournalist also has the help of captions to provide details. Actually, they are obligated. As I am a freelance photojournalist myself, I do stringer job for Pan News Asia, and we are obligated to put captions. Because in the captions, you are able to write or you are asked to indicate the who, what, well. I have shared with you more tips through Larawan and shared with you how I think, how I share photo slideshows, meron pa isa mamaya. And now, sorry. Okay, before we proceed to the Q&A, one more slideshow, quickly.